by Michigan State. They won the toss. They elected to defer, and UCLA will open with the touchback in possession at the 25-yard line. So both Javian Thomas and Anthony Woods are in the game at running back, and the afternoon starts.
Offense number 72, 5-yard penalty, first down.
And now, as you can tell, the game clock situation is sorted out. UCLA's backed up 5 yards, and then the pass is incomplete. It's just Woods in the backfield alongside Iamaleava. Nico with a good pocket and throws it low, and the ruling is that it is caught. And Hudson Habermel, the tight end, catches, and he's upended back at the original line of scrimmage before the first down penalty. So only back to the 25. It will be 4th down and 10, a 3-and-out to open the game for the Bruins. Will Carroll the punt. Had one blocked last week. This isn't his best effort. Oh my, but it may have just hit a Michigan State player. UCLA is on it. Did it hit a player for the Spartans? It appears it did not. It will be Michigan State ball with good field position here at the 41-yard line. And they go tight end here on the first play of the game. And tempo here on the second down throw, and looking on Nick Marsh, who was turning inside, and Marsh couldn't hang on to the ball, so it will bring up a 3rd down and about 4 yards to go. And here's Childs on 3rd down, throwing and looking for the playmaker Marsh, and he makes the catch and then runs away from a tackle after the catch. And this is easily a first down for Michigan State. And we expected to see something like this. Marsh with the ball in a running situation and moving off to the left side. Makai Frazier at running back. Fake it to him. No, he'll keep it. And it is Frazier who is wrestled down right around the first down marker. They let Childs convert the 3rd down as he keeps it, and on a 3rd and 1, it's an easy pickup. And it is a pitch on the end around. Amari Kelly's looking for something to open up. It does not. Well done by Key Lawrence. Here's 2nd down and long, and Jack Belling, another tight end, is in the mix, and he's banged down inside the 15-yard line on the catch. Well, they've already converted 1, or they've converted 2 third downs on this drive, and another one's converted. 3rd down and 3, and driving into a big hole is Makai Frazier, and this will put the Spartans at 1st down and goal. 1st and goal, and Childs takes it in. Touchdown. Opening drive produces 6 points. And a potential 7th here for Michigan State. Martin Connington with Ryan Eckley holding on the extra point. And he's made all 14 extra points this year. Martin Connington's kickoff. Anthony Frias with the catch in the end zone for a touchback. And UCLA's 2nd drive about to start. UCLA wants to settle things down with the run by Javian Thomas. He spins off the tackle, and it keeps him on schedule and more with a 7-yard run on 1st down for Thomas.
It's another false start. It's going to be on UCLA.
False start. Offense number 77. 5-yard penalty. It's 2nd down.
Thomas again patiently waiting for something to open up, and it just really never opened up for Thomas. And Nico, will he have a scramble situation? No, he finds an open receiver. The tight end Habermel has it. Past midfield and a 1st down easily before being escorted out of bounds by Aiden West. That went down to the 47-yard line, and Iamaleava, that is, hit as he throws the ball. Incomplete pass on 1st down. After the long pass on 3rd to Habermel. Nico spins away from pressure. A little pump fake, and he's going to run down the sideline and close to a 1st down. Well, Rhett, there was some simplicity on 3rd and 1. Just run it straight up the middle, and Jalen Berger converts. And Nico throws, and it's incomplete. Looking for Mikey Matthews going down at the 20-yard line. Incomplete pass, 2nd down and 10. Play fake to Jalen Berger. They throw the screen to the outside. Caught by Rico Flores inside the 30, really spotted right at the 30-yard line, and another 3rd down upcoming for the Bruins. From the 30 on 35. Pressure's coming from Santiago, and Nico doesn't have room to scramble and convert anything there. It's just a pickup of a yard. Well, we certainly know that Metin Bagani's got a big leg. He hit from 54 last week. He had made 13 straight field goals before one miss from 56 last week, and he's looking to connect here from 47 yards to put the Bruins on the board, and he does precisely that. Bagani's kickoff. And a fair catch in the end zone for the Spartans. This is the second drive of the game for the Spartans. From the 25-yard line with Brandon Tullis at running back. And it is Tullis who will run the ball and hit low. And that drove him backwards. Officially 4 on the first down run. Childs is put under pressure by Anthony Jones and throws the ball away. And here's pressure. Oh, and it's a nice one-handed catch out on the perimeter. But Elijah Tautoliver is tackled right shy of the stick, a half yard away by Cole Martin.
And they're going to go for it here. How about this for Jonathan Smith?
It's no QB sneak. It's a turn and toss and a downhill run. And Siale Taupaki with the tackle of Mekhi Frazier. And the spot is short, and UCLA has held on the big gamble by Michigan State. And now, with the ball just inside the 35-yard line, a jump cut and then a move to the outside. Here's a chance for Anthony Woods to pick up a first down and more. And the ball is immediately in the red zone after a run by Woods to the 17-yard line. In the red zone now for UCLA, and Woods, the transfer from Idaho, who just ran for 17 yards, picks up just 1 or 2 there on first down. Yogi, we've seen 3 different running backs in, and one of them is going to receive a direct snap here, and it's Berger, and Jalen Berger off the direct snap is running in for a touchdown for UCLA. And the extra point for Metin Bagani. UCLA now leads it 10-7. First meeting between these two teams in 51 years. Now a kickoff return for Sean McCray, and McCray is hit on special teams. Doesn't even make it back to the 15-yard line. And now here's a throw to the sideline, and incomplete. Oh, Aiden Childs had a chance to hit Amari Kelly, but overthrows him. Big chance there a moment ago. Michigan State doesn't convert. Now they have second down and 2. They move Marsh in motion. Scooter Jackson followed him and through the hands of Masunas, the tight end. Big leg for punter Ryan Eckley, who led the Big Ten last year and is averaging over 52 yards per kick this year. This is not one of his best efforts, but we'll see if he gets a roll. It will roll, and then picked up on the bounce by Mikey Matthews. 3 drives, 2 scores so far. Oh, wow. Quindarius Dunnigan, who is starting today with Jalen Thompson out. They need a pick-me-up in the pass rush with the absence of Thompson, and Dunnigan just provided it, and a big sack to end the first quarter. They lead by 3, but they're in a hole at 2nd and 16 after the Dunnigan sack. A pass by Nico is incomplete, as Iamaliava was looking for Quasi Gilmer. Gilmer, 24 catches this year, doesn't have one today. Check down throw a little bit behind Anthony Woods, but then Woods can turn upfield. There's a lot of space. Woods is up to the 45, but short of the first down. Oh, they didn't convert. It's a fake punt. Snap to the up man, and it's a first down and more. It's a run off to the left side and down at the 35-yard line. And a run all the way down to the 35-yard line. And now Iamaliava with the pass, and it's complete, and Flores fights out of a tackle, and it's inside the 15-yard line for another first down. Now they've got Anthony Frias and Javian Thomas in the backfield. And give it to Thomas. He'll cut back, and Thomas is able to knife his way all the way down. And now the ball on 2nd down and 2. And a running play and going low and trying to pick up the first down here is Thomas, who was Cal's leading rusher last year. And yeah, Cortland Ford, he's back up to his feet. He was down But he is back up to his feet.
Look at him saying to the trainers, I don't want to be on, get away from me. I want to be on the field. I'm in. But when you go down, you got to come out for at least one snap. The official lets him know that.
Jerry Neuheisel said it was next man up, and Mahe played well. And he'll line up now at left tackle on this important play, which is 3rd and short inside the 4-yard line. Fake handoff throw by Iamaleava behind Quasi Gilmer, who was open in the back of the end zone. Now up under center on 4th and 1 and 6'6". Nico Iamaleava on 4th and 1 leans forward, and there enough of lean in that 6'6", 215-pound body to generate a first down. Mahe is still in the game at left tackle after Ford went out. Berger is the running back. Habermill, the tight end, is in motion. Iamaleava just converted on 4th and 1. Now he throws it in the flat and a walk-in touchdown, the second of the game for Berger. Berger's run one in. He just caught a pass from Nico Iamaleava, and the lead swells to 9 right now for the Bruins on the road. Metin Begani with the extra point, 17-7, UCLA. It ends with Iamaleava's touchdown pass of 3 yards to Jalen Berger. 7th touchdown pass of the year. Metin Begani with the kickoff, that is. Spartans have it. 25-yard line on the touchback. And a quick toss. Mekhi Frazier will cut this back against the grain. And Frazier with a positive play out to the 31-yard line for a 6-yard pickup. Frazier just had a 6-yard run, put his foot in the dirt, cut to the outside, and he's upended by Keanu Williams, among others, right at the 35-yard line. Jay Coyne is in at fullback, and again, they'll call Frazier's number, and there's nothing to be worried about with regard to whether or not he picked up the first down on the previous play, because he certainly does there, easily past the 40. And now Frazier is out in the pattern, and Aiden Childs was hit and lost the ball. Fumble recovered by the Bruins. And looking for a big strike on the first play after the turnover. And Gilmer, the intended receiver, pass is incomplete. Anthony Frias is in the game. He went in motion, got set in the backfield, but the running play here is a call for Woods, and Woods sprints to the outside. And Woods is down at the 23-yard line, just short of moving the chains. And they did get a nice spot at the 21-yard line. Now here is Woods, and Woods hanging onto his ankle is Dunnigan, and Woods inside the 20. Everyone getting involved amongst the running backs. Berger, Woods, and now maybe a chance for Thomas. He goes in motion. Nico looking out that direction, and will throw it on the slant. It's caught Quasi Gilmer. Now it's 3rd down. Santiago with pressure. And it's another reception for Gilmer. Now he's involved, back-to-back plays with a catch, and that grab down to the 9-yard line for a 1st and goal. Oh, big hit. Thomas received the handoff, and he got drilled by Malik Spencer. And potentially another tackle for loss, but Nico Iamaleava prevents that from happening. Just so hard to bring down. Movement. Cortland Ford is back in the game at left tackle, and that's who everyone from Michigan State's pointing at. Brian Banks will tell
False start, offense number 77. 5-yard penalty, it's 3rd down.
Now they're backed up to 3rd and goal to 12. Iamaleava's pass, and it's caught by the aforementioned Titus Mokiao Atimalala. You called it, Yogi. Touchdown, UCLA. Remember, they were up 27-7 over Penn State at halftime last week. Touchback. Running play here for Michigan State. Frazier ran out of a tackle, reverse field. And then he's caught by Keyshawn Bennett after a gain of 3. Oh, now here's a pass play. And Nick Marsh said his name a lot early, haven't been able to say it much since. He does catch it to the 31-yard line, leaving a 3rd down and 4. Childs a good pocket. And incomplete, looking for Frazier. And it's a hold here for UCLA. Just an incompletion, no flag, 4th down and 4. So Ryan Eckley punts it away as we're in the last 3 minutes of the first half. Mikey Matthews broke one tackle when he caught it at the 25-yard line, and Matthews able to manufacture something with a nice punt return. First down. Good pocket and a deep ball here by Iamaleava. Oh, and he drops it right in the bucket to Mikey Matthews. And that went for 37 yards to Matthews. And already the ball has moved down to the 21-yard line. And now number 21, it's Javian Thomas. Thomas bouncing outside, flags down. Run is for 8 yards, but there's a marker down here with 2:15 left in the second quarter.
Yeah, and that's going to be hold. I think that's going to be on Cortland Ford, who's back in at left tackle. His 3rd penalty of the game for UCLA, which is going to stop the clock.
Holding, offense number 77. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. It's first down.
And then they've started the clock, so this will run all the way down right now to the 2-minute timeout with the ball at the 31-yard line of Michigan State, and UCLA trying to add more to the 24 consecutive points they've scored out of the 2-minute timeout. There was a penalty before. Nico Iamaleava has now completed 8 of his last 10 passes after a 3 of 8 start, as it's a tackle made by Jordan Hall on the catch by Javian Thomas. And he finds Thomas on the handoff, and a flag is down. Thomas with some room to run, but I think you have to ask why there was so much room to run.
Holding on UCLA.
Offense number 3. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. It's second down. The clock will start on the snap.
They're still in Mateen Bagani's field goal range, but obviously they want to improve on that. Check down throw, tight end, Habermill caught it. Oh, and a good tackle in space. He's driven backwards by Toronto native Devin Cromwell at safety. 1:31 left in the first half. Another timeout called by the Spartans. We're back at 30 seconds. 3rd down and 18 at the 29-yard line of the Spartans. They do not throw the ball. They run it. Berger, and this is going to make the field goal much more manageable for Bagani. He's got a great leg anyhow, but this really helps as Berger runs this all the way down to the 16-yard line. 4th and 5.
See if they try to draw him offsides. They have timeouts. There they go, calling timeout. Tim Skipper, nice job by him. See if he can get a gimme. Michigan State has had some penalties.
So Bagani from 34 yards. He's already hit today from 47. Kick by Bagani. Oh, and he missed it off the upright. Now here's a throw and catch and a big collision. Brandon Tullis caught it, and then Tullis out beyond the 30 and will move the chains with a first down. No timeouts, but that does stop the clock for the moment. And again, we're in that middle 8 right now where Michigan State, after the miss by Bagani off the upright of the field goal, has the ball right now and will have it to start the 3rd quarter. Step up by Childs, looking downfield, and opts to sling it out of bounds. Scott Taylor with pressure. Childs got the ball away and incomplete on 3rd down. Mikey Matthews had a 17-yard punt return last time the ball was booted to him by Ryan Eckley. Will he have a chance to do so again? He's going to make some positive yardage on this return, a 9-yard return by Mikey Matthews. The first call is to run it, and it's jammed up after a 1-yard pickup for Jalen Berger.
It looks like UCLA is going to say, you know what, let's get out of here 24-7, feeling great about ourselves on the road. Tim Skipper should.
24-7 is the lead. Michigan State won the toss. They deferred. They have the ball to start the 3rd quarter, with Michigan State having scored on their first drive and haven't since. Nice catch, Michael Masunas. That was their first play on offense to open the game, and that's how they opened the 3rd quarter, with a one-handed grab by the tight end. 7 yards on first down. Jack Belling in motion. Brandon Tullis nowhere to go. Brandon Tullis loses yards. Michigan State has given up the 4th most tackles for loss in the nation going into the game today, 42, and a TFL for -1 there.
Taupaki is just, his energy is infectious. The first drive of the 3rd quarter, so critical right now for Michigan State. You got to find a way to get number 6, Nick Marsh, involved here on a critical 3rd down.
3rd and medium, they need 4. Will they get Marsh involved? It's Childs keeping it after he faked it to Tullis. Childs sprints for the sideline and has a first down.
They haven't had a drive over 4 plays since the first one.
Big pickup for Childs, running the ball on 3rd down and 4. Fake the toss to Mekhi Frazier. Maybe looking to air it out. It is a deep pass. And it's McCray, the intended target. Flag is down on the play.
Holding. Defense. 10-yard penalty for the previous spot. Automatic. First down.
Near midfield. Running play for Brandon Tullis. And Tullis hasn't crossed the 50 before he's swallowed up by Keanu Williams. 2 years at Georgia, 3 years at UCLA for Williams. Now, quick pass. It's out and on the money. Amari Kelly with the catch. And the ball down to the Bruins' 44-yard line, short of the line to gain by a yard. 3rd and 1, and another 3rd down pickup by Aiden Childs. A fake to Tullis. Standing and throwing, and incomplete. Keeper Childs. And Childs got a block from Amari Kelly. UCLA trying to close down the play, and Keanu Williams with a big hit at the 38-yard line. So Childs is down. He got drilled by 320-pound Keanu Williams. Alessio Milivojevic has had to come into the game. He did last week against Nebraska and played well. And he's got a lot of time to throw, and into a crowd. It's juggled, and Nick Marsh had it and lost it. Roderick Pleasant was able to do enough perhaps to jar it free from Nick Marsh in the end. It's incomplete on 3rd down. And this is the 2nd snap now for Milivojevic. He just threw an incompletion. He's airing it out for the sideline. You got a contested ball here at the goal line. And Andre Jordan Jr. has his 2nd PBU on the drive as he slaps it away from Nick Marsh. Here's a big run for Javian Thomas. The flag is down. The flag is thrown at the 45-yard line. The run is all the way to the Spartans 30. Let's sort out what happens here after a 4th down stop for the Bruins. A big running play, but it may be coming back.
10-yard penalty for the spot of the foul. It's first down.
And Nico in the pistol will give it to Javian Thomas, and Thomas is down, swallowed up by Alex Van Sumeren. And UCLA is going tempo. They snapped it. Thomas on the run. There's a flag down. Thomas with this 2nd down and short is down on the tackle by Isaac Smith at the 48-yard line of UCLA.
Illegal substitution. Defense, 12 on the field of snap. 5-yard penalty results in the first down.
That's the first penalty of the game against Michigan State. The ball is right on the 50, and a huge hole for Jalen Berger. Oh, and Berger pinballs off Malcolm Bell on a tackle attempt, and this run is to the 26 of the Spartans. They'll flip it to Berger. Out of the backfield, tight ropes the sideline, looking for contact, and creates some inside the 15. 2 yards needed for the Bruins. And again, another opportunity to run. Javian Thomas this time, tackled by Jordan Hall. They lined up quickly. Now Thomas. Berger gonna change direction. And not much there for Berger. It's 3rd and 6. Fake the handoff. They're looking for Frias. A low pass. He caught it at the 10. Turns upfield, and a tackle in the open field made by Dontavius Nash, and that leaves him a 1.5 yards, almost 2 yards short of the first down. Taupaki's in motion. He's trying to create space on the block on 4th down, and it worked. Berger runs it, but Taupaki, who's recovered a fumble today, now makes his presence felt on the other side of the ball. Hey, when you went out to practice, you and Rhett were at practice the other day, and Jerry Neuheisel said about Taupaki, don't put him in a fullback box.
Don't put him in a corner. That's exactly right.
Nobody puts Ciale in the corner, and the young man, the big man from East Oakland, California, helped them convert that 4th down to set up 1st and goal, and Frias is driven backwards. He was close, but Michigan State bows up Jordan Hall. Or could they direct snap it to a running back? They do. 2nd time in the game, and this time it pays off with Thomas. Berger did it earlier. Direct snap to Javian Thomas. Touchdown UCLA. 62-yard touchdown drive, ending with a direct snap touchdown run of a yard by Javian Thomas. This is the 3rd snap now for Alessio Milivojevic, and he will throw. An incomplete, looking for Amari Kelly. Tucking it under to run here, and nearly picked up the 1st down. Milivojevic scrambles, hit by linebacker Isaiah Chisholm after a 9-yard gain. Play fake, 3rd and short. Milivojevic throwing, and he finds the tight end and squirts away though. UCLA is on this right now. They're going to let this go out to its conclusion as a completed catch and fumble recovery.
After review, the ruling on the field has changed to an incomplete pass. It will be 4th and 1 at the 34-yard line.
And this is Mekhi Frazier, and he doesn't make it. Now Nico Iamaleava throwing, looking, big shot after the stop on downs, and he overthrows Mikey Matthews running down the left-hand side. On 2nd down, ball at the 33, quick pass. Mikey Matthews, the intended receiver on the last play, catches that one. He's bumped down short of the 1st down. Anthony Frias is in. We'll see Frias run the ball. He has a 1st down and more than that. That is the 1st running play of the year for Frias. There's a marker down. On what was a 3rd down and 1 pickup.
Personal foul, hands to the face, defense number 43. Half the distance to go from the end of the run. Automatic, 1st down.
Under 2 to go on the 3rd on 1st and goal, and it is broken up. The ball intended for Flores, and Dontavius Nash able to knock it away. It came close to an interception.
Number 77, 5-yard penalty. It's 1st down.
And the penalty further creates problems for UCLA, but they are going to solve that problem with the flip out into the flat to Jalen Berger, and he will run in for the touchdown. And Bagani extends the lead to 38-7. Bagani has been busy today kicking off with 6 scores for UCLA since Michigan State scored for the 1st time in the game. And the play calling, the creativity, the deception, just pushing all the right buttons. Jerry Neuheisel as the play caller now for UCLA. Of course, the son of Rick Neuheisel. Jerry born in 1992, 33 years old. Went to UCLA. There's Rick and Jerry. Rick working for the Pac-12 network where you work, Yogi. Jerry, quarterback at UCLA. Played 18 games as a quarterback there, and then has been an assistant coach there since 2017.
This has been his only dream. He's so talented, could have done so many things. Easily could have been in the media.
Oh, fumbled snap. Milivojevic was able to flip it back to Mekhi Frazier, and they are able to turn that broken play into one of their more positive plays on offense since the first drive of the game.
Well, let's just get back to Jerry Neuheisel. I mean, I can remember meeting him when he was in high school. He was a quarterback, wanted to play college football. Of course, he was going to go to UCLA, got a shot there to play. He was backing up Brett Hundley. Epic game. They beat Texas in Arlington in a neutral site game. Noel Mazzoni, who's now an analyst with UCLA over the last 2 weeks, was the play caller then. And I remember talking to Jerry saying, hey, what do you want to do with your life? You want to do media? You want to get in business? He could have done anything. And he said, no, I want to coach. And I want to coach at UCLA, and that's really all he has done. And over the last 7 years, see another first down, and he's just continued to grow in that role in Westwood.
He does continue to grow, and he's actually taken a page out of his dad's playbook with the post-game celebrations after last week at Penn State. It's been a tradition of celebration with Rick Neuheisel. After every win, they pop a bottle of champagne, but they don't use glasses. They just pass the bottle around and say, hey, take a horn out of this one. Well, Jerry's mom and brother were there in attendance last week and had the bottle of champagne ready for him afterwards. They're even sharing it with UCLA fans who are walking by. It is just a tradition that actually started with former UCLA quarterback Troy Aikman, who Rick coached in Westwood, and then reconnected after a playoff win in Dallas when Troy was leading the Cowboys. And that was Troy's thing. Rick went to get the glasses after the win, and when Troy popped a bottle of champagne, he's like, no, we don't need glasses. Just take a horn off it.
Here is motion for Amari Kelly, and the pass is complete. Nick Marsh ran out of a tackle, but just defenders everywhere for UCLA swarming the football. Cole Martin had a big stop on 4th down on the previous drive with a tackle there at the 49.
Yeah, you're seeing this UCLA defense. They've just flying on the football over the last 7 quarters or so. Here they go line up.
And they want to run a play here, perhaps they will, before the end of the 3rd quarter. Now it's wound down to 10 seconds. They don't have to snap it. And that is it. 3rd quarter is over. Nick Marsh with a catch here, and he runs out of a tackle. Marsh for Michigan State. And down near the 25-yard line, just a little bit shy of that, officially out at the 26 on a tackle by Jalen Woods.
Yeah, and look, Michigan State's a proud program. They're not going to lay down right now. Just try to feed your stud. If you're going to see man-to-man coverage on the outside, continue to find ways to get Nick Marsh touches. They've gone to him a lot. It just hasn't necessarily worked out. 10 targets in the passing game in this ball game. I'd imagine they try to come back to him again.
10 targets, but only 4 catches in the end for Nick Marsh for 48 yards. Ball of the 26. Milivojevic in since Childs went out with an injury in the 3rd quarter. And a hard driving running play by Mekhi Frazier right down near the line to gain. Timeout's been called here with 14 minutes left in the game. Milivojevic to Nick Marsh, another target, another catch from Marsh, and Marsh turns it into the middle of the field.
They got a chance to go on a little bit of a run here under Tim Skipper with the way they've been playing.
A throw by Milivojevic to the end zone. Tim Skipper was the acting head coach for their 2023 bowl game for Fresno State, and then was the coach last year at Fresno State on an interim basis because of health issues for Jeff Tedford.
Yeah, he talked about how much he'd learned last year. We got to call the finale of the season. Ironically, it was against UCLA, the team that now he's the interim head coach of. He and Deshaun Foster went way back, good friends. Deshaun played for his dad, his brother, in the National Football League. And now he's got this Bruin team rolling over the last 2 games.
Milivojevic's been the quarterback since Childs went out in the 3rd quarter due to injury. Big collision with Keanu Williams. And Milivojevic with the touchdown pass to Nick Marsh. A good drive to start, then 38 straight for UCLA, and now the touchdown for the Spartans on the pass by Milivojevic and a missed extra point. And this will roll all the way into the end zone. Keeping it on the ground is the play that you would expect here for UCLA, and they do that on 1st down with a Javian Thomas run. Thomas again. And Thomas has the 1st down. Ran out of a tackle of Amarion Smith and over the 40 to the 41.
Pulling 2 different offensive linemen for positive yardage. And this is 4-minute offense for Tim Skipper, right?
Jalen Berger, who just ran the ball, has 3 touchdowns today, 2 receiving, 1 rushing. And another running play. This one short of the line to gain for a 1st down. It's back-to-back runs for Berger. And he'll run it again. And hit hard, but picks up the 1st down. And it's just a steady diet of the running game. Thomas is back in now and gains 6 on 1st down. patiently taking time off the clock. Anthony Frias with the run. For the first time on the drive, dropping back to throw, and Iamaleava is sacked. And so it's about 6 minutes worth of time here as Will Carroll is back to punt it away. Omari Kelly cradles it at the 11-yard line. And now it's Michigan State on their own 11, incomplete for Nick Marsh on first down with just over 7 minutes left to play in the game.
In on the tackle again, that's Pellet and the former Spartan Anthony Jones there.
Yeah, Pellet playing now here in the fourth quarter of this game. This may be a game where John Bonds doesn't end up leading the way in tackles. Scooter Jackson is the leading tackler for the UCLA defense today with 6. But Bonds went into the game, and then to your point, Yogi, Chisholm right behind him. Your numbers 1 and 2 in the Big Ten this season in tackles.
Would have been really productive. Part of that is defense was on the field a lot early on in the season. Last couple games where they've been really active.
This is third down and long. Milivojevic got a good pocket, throwing over the middle, and it's Krishan McCray with the catch. And then thrown down by Scooter Jackson outside the 35.
Guys, listening to Yogi talk about the linebackers brought up a conversation I had this week with UCLA former linebacker, the All-American last year, Carson Swessinger, who's now one of the best defensive rookies in the NFL. I was asking him, like, all right, man, what'd you think of the big win over Penn State last week? He's like, well, we were in London as I was getting ready to play the Vikings, and I couldn't see it. I tried for 30, 40 minutes to find a way to watch it, tried virtual private networks, anything. Well, he ended up just having to refresh it on his phone and kind of catch the Gamecast online, but did not dampen his excitement for his former teammates, knowing the work that they put into it. I would imagine, guys, a little bit easier for him to watch this week as he gets set to play the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, how 2015 of him, the way he had to watch it last week.
Oh, yeah, he was such a talented player. Remember, he was a walk-on scout team. Deshaun Foster noticed the impact he was having and said, oh, I think you're going to play linebacker for us. Started last year after the third week of the season. Became an All-American at Reds Point. Might be the rookie of the year in the National Football League.
In the game at tight end right now for Michigan State. We saw him get some reps in practice yesterday. Kai Rios. Got to throw it to Jack Velling, and that's an incompletion. So there's a pass behind McCray and out of bounds.
You know, we had a chance to spend a lot of time with Tim Skipper. Remember, he was the interim head coach at Fresno State a year ago. Didn't know what he was going to do this upcoming season. Got a call from his longtime friend, Deshaun Foster, guy he played against, is known forever. And he said, come join our staff. He did in late July. Fast forward a month and a half, he's the interim head coach. He told us that after last week's game against Penn State, Deshaun called him, they had a conversation, and in this coaching profession, so many people get impacted when there's a change. Deshaun was so happy for the players, for the staff, the way they competed on a huge stage a week ago, and I think that's what makes this game great. I mean, it is a profession, there's an element of it, it's a business, but it's still a great game, and it's still about the players on the field, and this staff, now led by Tim Skipper, have poured into the players. They've set aside what may happen in the future to the side and just focused on the present. And look at what has happened over the last 2 weeks. I mean, it's just been miraculous. It's a story of college football, I think, right now, with a team that was so down to be playing at the level they've been.
Yogi, it's also about small changes that make big impacts.
The previous play
right,
is under further
for
review
Tim Skipper, and
targeting.
one of those small changes was a switch in the practice schedule, going from Mondays to Sundays. And I know as they get a look at this targeting here, but it's really increased the explosiveness of their players and their recovery.
The ruling on the field is upheld. There is no target on the play. It's fourth down.
Which will leave it as a fourth down. You know, I was really enjoying what you had to say about Tim Skipper and what Red had to say. And we've seen the versatility as a coach come into play there a moment ago for Tim Skipper. Did you notice what he was having to do? He was having to be the get-back coach. He's taking on so many things now in his role as the interim head coach that he was the get-back coach there after that last play. Surely somebody else is there to take on that role, right?
A little bit of everything.
Here's a pass by Milivojevic, and it's way out of bounds on 4th down. So this is after the big hit. The sideline was fired up just a moment ago. And back.
Well, I would imagine a part of his post-game conversation with the team is, last weekend was jubilation. They were like, smiles. It's going to be a happy Sunday for the first time in a while. I would imagine it's, hey, this is who we are. So act as if. Be excited on the sideline, but you don't need to be on the field. You don't need to be in the what. We don't need a foolish penalty because in this league, this is an anomaly, this score. We see one-score games all over the Big Ten. I mean, that's what conference play traditionally has been. And for Jonathan Smith, unfortunately, after the first drive for the Spartans, they haven't been able to find much going. Didn't have the ball much in the first half. Didn't run a lot of plays in the first half. Didn't find many first downs in the first half. And UCLA was able to convert trick plays, 4th down conversion, and
this
there
was
it
the
is.
question. Yeah, this was the question when UCLA players got on the charter plane. Are you a one-hit wonder? And the answer definitively is no.
Hard no. I can't wait to hear what the new slogan and messaging will be in the team room.
You got to keep leaning into strain. That's obviously paid off as well. And man, when we talked to Jerry Neuheisel the other day, as you see the split screen here of Tim Skipper and Jerry Neuheisel, and Jerry's obviously a big part of this, and I asked him as we see this snap here with Luke Duncan, by the way, into the game here with UCLA up big. Oh, fumble on the run. Should note that Nico Iamaleava had played every snap this season at quarterback, but now Luke Duncan is in as the backup. Anthony Frias is in the game. Jack Peterson got on that fumble recovery for UCLA a moment ago, and Frias is hit and spins, and this is going to take it all the way down to the 2-minute timeout now. Now here's Anthony Frias, and Frias with a running play for a first down inside the 30-yard line. Just over a minute left in this game, and Brock Green had a great point out of the studio a moment ago. He said that it's not about X's and O's with UCLA, and I put that exact question to Tim Skipper in our conversation on Wednesday, and he said, hey, we changed the mindset. We didn't change the X and O's. We're focusing on winning off the field, keeping the locker room clean, go to class, park in the right place at the facility. Everything we do off the field correlates to success on the field.
Yeah, and look, it was a new team, another 52 new players on this year's roster, and it took a little time to get settled in. And to your point, he said, we got to win the locker room first. And when things go awry, when there's challenges and changes, and you all came from a bunch of different places, it's easy to not be connected. His first meeting was, you got to win the locker room, meaning keep it tight, keep it clean. We do that, we got a chance on the field. They got more than a chance on the field. They've been dominant in all phases of this game. I think the way they have coached the situations in this game has been relatively flawless. They have things to coach up, like the penalties and unforced errors at the line of scrimmage, the holding penalties downfield. But overall, the last 8 quarters of football, find me a team in America that has done what they've done. They moved the line of scrimmage against Penn State. They own the line of scrimmage again today. And for Tim Skipper, congratulations, man. This has been so impressive.
4 quarters, 80 points, an historic upset win last week over Penn State. But Joe Rossi, the defensive coordinator here at Michigan State, said yesterday they're going to keep putting these games on tape the rest of the way. This is who they are, and that was shown in spades today by UCLA as this game is over now. A 38-13 final, and we'll hear from Tim Skipper with Rhett Lewis on the field in just a minute.
Coach, strain, mental and physical, was such a big piece of you energizing this program the last couple of weeks. How did your guys sustain that mindset here today?
Yeah, we wanted it to just strain the whole for 4 quarters. You know, last week we had a good first half, and then in the second half we kind of gave up some plays. So we wanted to strain for 60 minutes, and the guys did that tonight.
Certainly felt like that was the mindset on the ground today. Over 230 yards rushing, you get 14 rushing first downs. How did that dictate the tempo and the tone of this game?
Yeah, you got to win in the trenches. That's how we see it. We're going to always try to win the time of possession. In order to do that, you need to move the chains on the ground. So it was good to see that we could do that today.
All right, Coach, you are definitively not a one-hit wonder after you emphasized that to your team this week after the win over Penn State. What's your feeling now about what you need to reach this squad?
It's all about cementing our style of play, how our personality is going to be every single time we play on a Saturday. It's got to be consistent. So we're just going to keep on preaching consistency and playing Bruin football.
Yeah, you mentioned and brought up Sir Mix-a-Lot and Vanilla Ice to your team to try to emphasize the importance of not being a one-hit wonder. Any early 90s musical artists that you're going to try to drum up here to kind of keep this thing going?
I kind of got asked that question. I'm going to go with crisscross jump. That'll be our little thing. So we'll get jumping in the locker room.
Yeah, well, Sir Mix-a-Lot, I don't know if he had a sequel, but I know for sure your Bruins have now back-to-back wins. Congrats, Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, Nico, another big day here for the Bruins. What was crucial for your offense after the first drive of the game, right? You guys end up punting, then you go out and score. You 24 unanswered points. What was working for you guys today?
Yeah, I think just us sticking to the game plan. You know, we started off slow at the first drive just with the penalties and stuff, and just us staying on rhythm and staying on our drives and keeping them going was a big thing for us.
You were obviously key last week with the rushing yardage over 100, but the running backs really dominated on the ground today. What was it like kind of watching those guys from behind?
Man, it was great to watch, man. Our whole line was straining and competing out there. Tight ends were making some great blocks, and then, you know, we got four great running backs that can go.
Nico, you guys have been re-energized since Coach Skipper took over as the interim head coach here. Do you feel like he's putting together a resume to hang on to this job and to lead the Bruins in the future?
Yes, sir, man. Coach Skip is a great guy to have in the building. He brings great energy, man, and, you know, he's somebody you want to play for. So, yeah, I love Coach Skip.
Nico, thanks, man. Congrats.
Appreciate you. Thank you, guys.
Well, Cole, we got to start with the fake punt. Such a big piece of the energy and the momentum in that first half. How'd you feel running the rock?
Oh, man, running back at heart, man. I played running back my whole life, so it was kind of natural. I'm just happy that the coaches trust me with the ability to go do it and put the team up for the momentum and stuff like that.
I think back to the first fourth down that Michigan State went for and you guys stopped, turned into a Jalen Berger touchdown right there. How big was that to kind of set the tone for this defense?
Oh, it was huge. I mean, the biggest thing we wanted to do coming out this game was start fast. We had a problem doing that all year, so, you know, we're trying to stack games, stack days, every day, starting practice with tempo things so we can come out on the field and perform real fast.
Strain. Don't be a one-hit wonder. It seems like all the messaging Coach Skipper has given to you guys is resonating. What have you seen from Coach that has helped stabilize and kind of turn the season around for you guys?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, when he's saying strain, it goes back to everything we did in camp. He was here during camp, so he took that from there and carried it on with us. And, you know, that's the biggest thing for us is going out and doing things when it doesn't feel the easiest to do. When your body doesn't feel like it, you got to go out there and go perform. So, you know, we've all been carrying that message and taking it for us on every day.
Congrats, Cole. Thank you.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you, boss.